Hello, welcome in everybody. This is going to be your Friday reading going into the weekend. So, you made it a couple of days through the heat wave. If you're on the East Coast, how you feeling? You made it through the full moon, and we've just officially entered in Mercury Retrograde. Are we still okay? Even though we're a few days in? I hope so, because you got this. And you've got homework to do because you've got crystals to pick up if you're into those. And if you're curious, I thoroughly recommend them. Let's see what Spirit has in store for you for this weekend, okay? So now's a great opportunity to get relaxed. Find you a nice drink that gives you all the feels, all the comfort, right? And let's dive in. And already the Chariot on the one half of the deck. I'm curious about that already. That almost wanted to come up. I saw it. There you go. Okay. Let's see what that is. My girl. My guy. Alrighty. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. And I'm being told specifically to wait until the end of this conversation is finished to start explaining, and it never ceased to surprise me how much Spirit has to say. Okay, I feel the end of the thought is coming to a close. I just want to just make sure I'm not missing any last thoughts. There we go. Already I'm running out of space. Oh my goodness. Oh. This is going to be a minute. So the Spirit's thought has finally ended, and now we're ready to share what this message has in store for you. So I've got 2 rows sitting here, so let's dive right into it. So the first row kind of feels like one of those shows that start, so and you know this if you watch TV, where they start off the show by saying, previously on episode da-da-da-da-da, and then that was a situation, and now it brings you back into the present and moving forward with the story. That's how this feels to me. Now, your first 3 to 4 cards, you're not going to believe this. There are influential people or special people closest to the heart space that is very, very, very unhappy that you are not going their way about a thing that they have in store for you to move forward or to do something with your life. And you are choosing to separate from the noise because you now understand you've got to go your own way, babe. Like High School Musical Gabriella. You got to go your own way, babe. And you know this because, again, like we spoke about last week, you're answering your higher calling. Intuitioning, spiritual awakening is happening. You got to follow your own way. And this now requires structure, balance, boundaries, firm ones, by the way, and that full transformation that we're talking about, because this is essentially the end of a cycle. And it's a little bit emotional because some chapters do have to end, and we can hold a moment in time to mourn what used to be, but then don't sit in it for too long because you're building your life. You're building your life that is divinely led, and you can't see the full picture, you just gotta have faith and trust. But this is going to settle, and maybe somehow, in a way, at least from your point of view, feel like what you knew in terms of belief systems or how you thought things are in the world change for the better. In terms of the bigger picture, your bigger picture, it does require some element of balance, because we're still yet struggling with that human piece of this whole experience, right? So manifestations usually just, the universe doesn't just give you the thing on the plate. Everything in your life does a 180 type of situation. So here, I think this is human, but the one thing you have to mentally be aware of is just to remember when you find yourself sitting in those mental, what can we call them? Mental jail or a mental spiral. Let's call it a mental spiral. Mental jail sounds a little bit much. So mental spiral, because we can't yet see, and it feels like we're freaking out and just You're creating emotional renewal. You're creating new passion for yourself. You're about to start doing something you have always dreamt about doing. You're planning still. You're planning, you're executing, you're checking things off of your list, and you're almost there. You just got to smooth out the little few ducks that you have to make this row as seamless as you can make it out to be. And then it's time to just do, because again, right, with the pages, and I see this coming out too, this is the beginning of something new. But with pages, I feel like they always just want information. They want to know what's coming up. But in the way that I feel this card in this energy, it's slightly different than seeking information. It's slightly different than wanting to know what's coming up. It's more like you awakening from a period of rest and now have the energy needed to wake up and get up out of bed and start the day. And there's no time limit on when you need to be up, what time you gotta clock in, what time you gotta be at work, so to speak. You determine all of that. You determine when you start, when you clock in, when you get ready, when you leave the house, to do whatever it is that you need to do. You are fully stepping into your divine purpose, and you're going through the motions, and it's not for naught. But again, we're still human, and we are allowed to have human experiences as we're going through this process, because at the end of it, we got to say, listen, I came up out of the end of it, and that was, you're gonna laugh. Maybe this will be a laughing moment on the other side, right? Because I was spazzing for no reason, and this is so much better than how you originally thought you were going to feel, how you originally thought this experience was going to be. And you're right in the thick of it, and you can't even see it. And I'm so interested to continue this thought. If you'd like a continuation of this reading, what happens next, let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to personally dive into your specific journey, let me know. My booking information is going to be over in my bio. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next read.